I've always loved myth. Ever since I was a young boy, I was constantly reading these amazing stories. They're full of epic adventures, they're full of monsters. One tends to think of these stories as being very separate, but in fact you can connect them all together. I suddenly thought, hang on a minute, what would happen if they met? These people must have met. The funny thing about myth is that there aren't actually that many children in it, and if there are, then they have very terrible ends. What I wanted to do is to look at what children might be like in those situations. We know that Aeneas, for instance, had children. We know that Orestes had children, but there aren't necessarily any stories. My name's Philip Womack. I am an author of children's books and also a classicist, a very passionate and fervent classicist. What I'm trying to do in this book is to bring out that love of Latin and Greek and the myths around them, and to share it with a wider reading public. This book is called The Arrow of Apollo, and it is an adventure story. The premise of it is that the gods are leaving the Earth. They've got bored with Earth and they're flitting off to other planets. But there are two gods left. There is Apollo and Hermes, who care more about humans than the other gods. And Apollo has this ancient rivalry with a titan who he once defeated called Python. But Python, now the gods have left, is rising again, and he's bringing with him a terrible army. And the only thing that can stop Python is the arrow of Apollo. But the problem is it's been snapped in half. So one bit is in, well, I won't tell you, the other bit is somewhere else, and the only people who can find it are the children of Orestes and Aeneas. The great thing about this book, which I'm really looking forward to, is that as well as the text, we will also have a map showing the Mediterranean, so you can follow the adventures of the heroes. There will also be a family tree in the back, so you can see how everyone's related and you can relate that to wider myths. Also, as part of this campaign, I'll be producing other documents which will be sort of concise biographies of the heroes, setting them into the context of the myth. These documents will be able to be used by teachers, by schools, by families who want to learn more about them. So the main reason I wrote The Arrow of Apollo was because I wanted to show that there is a door into the whole world of Greek and Roman myth. So as a child, you're not daunted by what might seem quite difficult, and instead you have a way to access and enjoy these incredible stories.